Welcome to the fascinating world of Vedas, undisputedly the oldest written literary and philosophical text in the world. From the mundane to the intellectual, the Vedas are packed with incomparable insights into virtually every aspect of life. Compiled over several centuries, the Vedas leave no aspect of the human condition untouched. Above all, they give us a ringside view of the people, the society, and the culture of those times. And helping us understand the intricacies of these ancient texts is Dr. G Ramakrishna, renowned professor of English and distinguished scholar of Sanskrit and Vedic literature.
And therefore, in the almirah of books chronologically arranged, if there be any of human making, the first place will always belong to the Rig Veda.
Graduating from the University of Mysore, Dr. G. Ramakrishna obtained his Masters in English Literature from the University of Wales, United Kingdom. On his return to India, he joined the prestigious National College in Bangalore as Professor of English Literature. In his long and illustrious career at this venerated institution, Dr. G. Ramakrishna earned the love and respect of students not only as an excellent teacher, but also as a friend, philosopher, and guide. A prolific writer, Dr. G. Ramakrishna has authored several books on the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, and other Puranic texts. A man of many parts, Dr. G. Ramakrishna is an accomplished exponent of yoga, has a keen ear for music, is an avid trekker, and an inveterate globetrotter. And so, dear viewers, here is Dr. G. Ramakrishna in his own words. There are not too many women poets in the Rig Veda, but the few who figure in it are extremely competent exponents of their craft. Contrary to the general belief that women are feeble-minded, the women poets of the Rig Veda are bold and uninhibited in their expressions of love, romance, and sexual desires. In this episode, Dr. G. Ramakrishna acquaints us with a few of the celebrated works of some of the greatest women poets of the Rig Veda.
Our next endeavor shall be to acquaint ourselves with some of the women poets of the Rig Veda. Earlier we used to say poetesses of the Rig Veda, but somehow the word poetess has gone out of circulation in the English language, and therefore we simply say women poets. There are quite a few delectable poems authored by women in the Rig Veda. One interesting point is that although widowhood is not decried in the Rig Veda, non-widows who are living in our midst are not always adored either. You may not denigrate womanhood, but you do not necessarily adore womanhood. There is a particular stanza in a context of the Rig Veda, the 10th Mandala, hymn 33. There, the poet accuses a man of being wayward. Some person is wayward. He is not following the usual rhythmic path that others are following. Not given to the kind of disciplined life that the Rig Veda cherishes. And you know what this accused man says? Well, I am not under anybody's control. Or if you want to put it in the third person, this man is under nobody's control. Nahi saha tava no mama shastre anyasya ranyati. He is a happy-go-lucky fellow with no discipline whatsoever. The man who is thus accosted There is a rather interesting response. He says, you are telling me that I am indisciplined, but what about woman? Woman's mind, he says, is indisciplined. The consciousness of women is feeble. And that is what Indra himself has said about women. So this is the general approach of the majority of Rigvedic poets towards womanhood in general. That their consciousness is feeble. Indraschit ghatat abravit striyaha ashasyam manaha uto ahakratum lagum. They have a feeble mind. Well, even during the 21st century, there are people who keep saying that the brain of the woman is not as fertile as the brain of the man. And that is a different issue altogether. Maybe it's a prejudiced judgment. Or maybe there were other reasons to place women in a lower position in society. But what is interesting is that in fact there are women composers of hymns in the Rig Veda. Not too many proportionately. And another interesting feature is that some of these poets, the women, they speak of sex with no inhibition whatsoever in the few hymns that we have in the Rig Veda by women. In the first mandala, hymn 179 for example, even Sayana, a very orthodox commentator of the Rig Veda, is very clear that women poets of the Rig Veda are unreserved in their expression of love for life in different dimensions. The hymn that I referred to just now, 179, is so much given to freedom of expression that one of the translators of the Rig Veda, Griffith, finds it very embarrassing because the poet is so open in expression. What Griffith does is that he separates this hymn from the other hymns, and instead of translating it to English, he has translated it into Latin. So that everyone does not read the Rig Vedic woman's expressions. I mean, there is no need for anyone to be so embarrassed about the poetic expressions of the women poets of the Rig Veda. I shall refer to a few of the poems by the women poets. The first one is a dialogue between Agastya and his wife Lopamudra, with Agastya's pupil eavesdropping unintentionally. There is a dialogue going on between them, and the pupil in the hermitage is a forced listener to the conversation. The hymn begins with an invitation extended by Lopamudra, wife of Agastya, to her spouse for sexual indulgence. She says, I am old, yes, but not undeserving of sex. So why don't we copulate? Purvihi aham sharadaha shashramana doshaha vastoho ushasam jarayantihi minati shriyam jarima tanunam apyunu patni. As a wife, I have every right to have sex with you. Then, the next stanza she says, a man, Agastya, old fellow, supposed to be a big sage. Our elders held fast to Ruta. That's one of the inevitable characteristics of good life in the Rig Veda, following Rita. And they held fast to Rita with the gods, just as the gods believed and cherished Rita, our ancestors did. But they never decried sexual urges. This is the statement of the Rig Veda. Te chit avasuhu nahi antam apuhu samunu patnihi vrishabhi jagamyo. At no time did they decry sexual urges. This is the kind of open expression that a woman poet has in the Rig Veda. The next two stanzas by Lopamudra reporting what Agastya presumably said is what makes people think that it is too much of an open communication. And Lopamudra herself is reporting about what Agastya said. Presumably he said, well, let us not be dejected. My dear old lady, we shall have everything. And of course, let us enjoy. Where is any reason for inhibition? And Agastya says, well, all my life I have been given to academics. He is a sage, poet and so on. But lust has not overtaken me. Your being a scholar, sage, living in a hermitage, does not mean that you should shun other joys of life. Therefore, he says, I don't know why people have certain opinions. Hey, come on, let us copulate. Old people speaking in the Rig Veda. The next two stanzas are by the student. Who is he listening to the dialogue? Says, may I be untouched but by what I have heard. He has heard something about the invitation extended by Lopamudra and the acceptance for sex by Agastya. And the student says, may I be untouched by what I have heard. Agastyaha khanamanaha khanitraihi. This is the expression of the poet. Says, Agastya is given to digging with instruments. What a fine metaphor. Any modern poet can use that to indicate the urge of the man. We have all been hearing about Sappho, the Greek poetess, composer of lovely love poems. And full 1000 years before the Greek Sappho, we have this Lopamudra Agastya dialogue in the Rig Veda. There is also another hymn in which Romasha, that is the name of a person, she invited her husband Bhavayavya for a similar purpose. It is also a love poem. She says, I am like a goat of the Gandharas. You know, the goat is potentially supposed to be very much fit for sex at any time. Ahamasmi Romasha Gandharinamiva Avika. Avika is a goat. So Vedic poets had discovered the wonderful ability of goats. Politeness prevents a more direct translation of what we have in this poem. And these are passages from a text which is supposed to be Apaurushaya. They are discussing sex, and some translators feel embarrassed even to translate it. There is another woman poet called Apala. Apala. She is another poet. And she has authored a hymn to Indra, which is in the 8th mandala. She says, I had gone near the stream in our village and I got some Somalata. Somalata is creeper of the plant called Soma, whose identity has never been very clearly known. Anyway, Somalata is supposed to induce potency and so on. So she says, I had gone to the riverside and I found this piece of creeper of Soma and she wants to offer it to Indra. In what form will she offer? She says, I shall chew this part of the creeper of Soma that I have got with my teeth and then I am going to offer it to Indra. You chew it, something like the betel leaf being chewed by a lady and then it is being offered to someone. But Indra received it and he fulfilled her desire of joining her husband. Apala wants to join her husband and she wants Indra to be the mediator. So when she gives the Soma plant chewed by her to Indra, he is terribly satisfied with her and obviously he would make it possible for her to go and live with her husband. The whole poem is love poetry. Part of the poem speaks of there having been 3 crops not appearing at 3 places. Normally a crop should appear during the expected season in the expected field. But there have been 3 things missing. 1, hair on her father's head. The fellow has become bald, so she is the daughter of an old man. And then with regard to herself, her pubic area is bereft of hair. Very bad for her. And then the third, which is more important, of course, there are no crops in the field. And this poet is appealing to Indra to ensure that all these 3 are amended properly. Her father's head, her pubic area and the crops in the field. And Indra is so happy after having received the chewed Soma plant from Apala that he granted all the 3 wishes, fulfilled all of them. This is another very romantic poem. Let's refer to one more. This is in the 10th mandala. Hymn number 39 and hymn number 40, both by a lady who calls herself Ghosha. And indisputably she is among the best women poets of the Rig Veda, if not best poets of the Rig Veda. She has an apprehension that she will grow old sitting at home. So she wants Ashwins to bless her with a husband. She doesn't have a husband. We earlier saw one who had a husband. This Ghosha doesn't have a husband and she wants Ashwins, the twin gods, to bless her with a husband. And she says, let our enemies know how very helpful you are, Ashwins. If you provide me with a husband, they never will concede the point that you are very helpful to the community as a whole. If you cannot supply even a husband to a girl, what kind of a God are you? A widow gets fulfillment from her husband's brother. This is what Ghosha is saying in the poem. If she is a widow, she is not deprived of all the joy of life because she can always have fulfillment from her husband's brother. Vidhava iva devaram maryam na yosha krunute sadhaste. Even Manu in his Dharma Shastra gives approval to this practice. Obviously, the practice was in vogue, especially when the lady was childless at the time of widowhood. Ghosha, who is daughter of a person called Kakshivan, approaches Ashwins, as we have seen, to get her a young man with chariot and horses, not just a husband. He must be a husband who is in possession of chariots and horses. Towards the end of the poem, she feels as if she had already obtained her man and hence she is in great joy. You see the transformation, metamorphosis. The poem begins with a request to Ashwins, and towards the end of the poem you see that he has already fulfilled the desire of the girl and she is in great joy. The portrayal of the world of reality and the world of imagination, the contrast between the world of reality and the world of imagination, that is what Ghosha has brought out in this poem. You know how, for example, we consider John Keats's romantic poems extremely interesting because of the contrast that he makes between reality and imagination. The world of reality. The world of imagination is glorious. You are always sure to have fulfillment. But in the world of reality, there is death, there is struggle, there is disease, so on. And this lady is telling us, Keats says, fled is that music. Was it a vision or a waking dream? This is in Ode to Nightingale. Something along those lines we see that the world of reality and the world of imagination are being connected. Oh, what a fine world of imagination. Her meeting her husband granted by Ashwins. Reality, she is just not endowed with that. But then Ashwins, she is sure to be given what she wants. And then ultimately she finds that there are no Ashwins around. In imagination, there are the Ashwins to grant her the boon, fulfillment. And she is excited that she will be able to enjoy her cherished life, the dream world. But then when she comes back to the world of reality, she finds that there are no Ashwins. You see, therefore the agony continues. Agony had been solved in the world of imagination. She had transcended the world of reality for the time being because of her faith in the Ashwins. That alienated consciousness is back when she descends to the world of reality. Same frustration, harshness of life. So, see, in the dream world, everything is fulfilled. In the world of reality, the same dry difficulty continues. This is a masterpiece among love poems in the Rig Veda. There are, of course, other poetesses like Polomi, Sarparajna, and so on. In any case, you do not have too many women poets in the Rig Veda, but some who figure in the Rig Veda are extremely competent as great poets.